The MCU doesn't seem to have a clue. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, this is a story that's similar to earlier accounts about Jack Schaefer, who was the writer for WandaVision, and she revealed she didn't have a clue, didn't know jack squat about Marvel. The comic book says she didn't know how to read comic books. Didn't know anything about Mephisto, despite the fact that there were clear Easter eggs and teases all over that show about it. Someone was doing it, but she was completely unaware of this. Well, seems that appears to be standard operating procedure for the MCU as of now, which is all about its D+ shows before they can get back to movies and whatnot. We're still waiting for Black Widow, but lockdown and all that. But anyway, so here's another article on this subject at Bounding into Comics. The Falcon and Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman makes numerous bizarre claims. Shows lack of knowledge about MCU. Now, to be fair, a lot of this isn't really completely his fault. So he's talking to Inverse, and he's asked, the show talks about Steve Rogers a lot across its 6 episodes. Yes, it's almost like a ghost that's haunting the show. It's all about his shield and everything, but doesn't ever explicitly reveal what happened to him after Avengers Endgame. Was it always the plan to keep Steve's whereabouts vague, or did you ever consider revealing them outright? Look, the way the show is, you have to go with that he's dead. That's what the show clearly implies. He's gone. The split between Sam and Bucky is over Sam's decision to give the shield to the Smithsonian, and then they end up giving it to a new Captain America and all that, and Bucky's all upset about it. He sees that as an insult to Steve's memory. Now, he's a very old man at the end of Endgame, and so you could think, well, he must have passed away between the end of Endgame and now, because some time has passed. So, and that's how the show plays out. But it never actually says it. And it's kind of odd. Wouldn't they talk to him about Sam's decision? Wouldn't Sam talk to him? It's like, why is he not available? So he responds to this, and he says, I've got to tell you the truth, my friend. Marvel won't tell me what happened to Steve. So we were able to write whatever we wanted because we don't know. Boy, but that's going to work out well. Jeez, what incompetent planning here. You got to tell the guy. I mean, unless they're holding it back because we want to do some special reveal, and maybe they secretly signed Chris Evans for a return in one of the other films or something. But then you got to do something else, But the whole plot revolves around Captain America. The rest of it about the stupid flag smashers and all that, yeah, no one cares. But they won't even tell him. He's just like, so we'll just make up stuff. Does it fit or not? I don't know. So he added, we're wondering if Steve's on the moon too. You know what I'm saying? That's as good a guess as anything because they won't tell me. Well, maybe he is. Nick Fury is on some spaceship. Maybe he's up there with Nick, in the Spider-Man movie. Yeah. Maybe they'll just change that too, It doesn't matter. So, apparently he didn't know that at the end, they changed the title of the series to Captain America and the Winter Soldier because, Sam becomes the new Captain America at the end. Ta-da! And so they changed the title. Well, the showrunner didn't know about that. So he explains, I'll be honest, I discovered that title change when I was watching a cut of the episode, and it wrecked me. I haven't spoken to Marvel, of course, why should you? They don't speak to you, apparently, about whether they considered changing Bucky's name too, but my gut tells me The reason it still says "and the Winter Soldier" is simply because they wanted to play with the poetry of a title you've been hearing. Yeah, sure. If they had changed too much, it maybe wouldn't have felt the same. But I truly don't know. That's right, you don't. What discussion went into it? I just know it landed heavy with me. Oh, that's too bad. Obviously, they don't respect you at all. I don't know why. They gave you the gig, but... So anyway, another odd thing here is fans recently discovered that the location used for Isaiah Bradley's house in the series is only a block away from Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthplace. Was that intentional or coincidental? Spellman responded, I did not know that. So there you go. Wow. You'd have to go ask Kari Skoglund, the director, if that was deliberate or not. You see? Do you see? You see, Isaiah Bradley, that's that story Kyle Baker did about the black Captain America, where the government, it was a metaphorical reference to the Tuskegee Airmen, of black men being used as guinea pigs for experiments here, and so that's what they did with the super soldier serum in his case, and then screwed him over, and that's a better story. They probably should have just done that, but it's only just shoehorned in. Well, maybe not shoehorned. It does fit in with the Captain America storyline, but it's just plastered on for the superficial means to it. It didn't know he's next door neighbors with Martin Luther King. That's oh god. And boy, they better get her quick to her say, oh yeah, that's why I did it. And maybe she did, but how much of a showrunner is this guy? That's the great thing about having a filmmaker like Kari, is she's going to want to milk every single moment she can. I don't know what decision was on that house though. So then there's this odd thing about Bucky here. And so they ask him, are there any Easter eggs in the series that fans haven't spotted yet that you want to point out? He says, I will say that this is not an Easter egg, but one thing no one has caught, and it's a failure in our writing, I guess, was when we were taking Bucky on his journey. We felt like the moment in episode 6 where he frees the GRC members and one of them stops to say, thank you saved my life. We always considered that Bucky's first hero moment. No, not Endgame. No, not Infinity War. No, not when he saves Captain America after in Winter Soldier. At the end, he realizes who he truly is. He's been this brainwashed guy, a pawn used by Hydra and the Soviet Union and all that. And he's waking up. He realizes who he really is because he meets Steve Rogers, his best friend, and all that. And ultimately, because Captain America was going to drown, but Bucky saves him. And that's the deal here. But no, this is when he first becomes. And then, of course, he's a World War II hero. He's fighting alongside Captain America until, he falls from the train and seemingly dies. But then we discover the truth, he was always a hero. He's a tragic hero. He's been tortured and forced to do horrible things, and it weighs on him even though he's not ultimately responsible. But he was there, and he's got all the memories, and he's tortured by it. He's a tragic, tortured man. But a hero in the end, and when the scenario calls for it, he rises to the occasion, and that's what that is. The idea that's when, and this is I guess he Spellman tries to save the point here. That was a huge deal to us, but I have not heard anyone mention it. We were like, that's it. Bucky is on his way to freeing himself from this burden of being the Winter Soldier. Now he gets to go and be a hero for the first time. He concludes, that's not to say he hasn't been here before. Yeah, exactly. He's, oh, wait, I'm messing up here. But you said this is the time. This is the first time he becomes a hero by saving those diplomats. But that's the moment when he allows himself to feel like a hero. Not many people caught that because it's not really there. We've seen him save people and do heroic deeds already. I don't think I'm going to bother rewatching it, but he pauses for a second. Damn, I'm a hero. But Spellman's more worried about that. Doesn't seem to be too upset about them not telling him vitally important information about characters. But anyway, oh yeah. So then the article goes on to the same thing. There he is. Hero in World War II. There he is saving Captain America, all that stuff, and went in to fight Thanos' agents and all that in Wakanda. On and on and on, and they already had a scene where they give him the new arm, and he's the new. He's already had that journey. I can understand him still being tormented by it and that sort of thing, and utilizing that in the show. But the idea that he needed to realize his true self as a hero, no, he'd already done it. So they conclude that this just shows that Marvel is probably just as bad as Lucasfilm here, with no direction and nobody knowing what's going on. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, and boy, it really shows here. This is 2 shows now that is right now is supposed to be holding the MCU going forward until the movie business can get back on track, if it does. And they don't even. That's just sloppy, and terrible. It's amazing anything got done at all, But that in and of itself, just the blatant incompetence here, is a bad sign. And also to the means of using racism as a tokenizing, shielding agent of being a certain amount of icing for this cakeless cake, to hide the fact that there is no cake. That's pretty rotten to do. But they're not alone in that. A lot of shows and movies do that these days. But it just goes to show you, wow, how did it get so bad? Well, now you got a clue for the clueless MCU. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.